All right, here's our second example. We want to find the equilibrium point, the consumer surplus and the producer surplus of this equation. And pretty much everything is going to be the same as the previous one. It's just that our curves are a little bit more challenging, but the integrals actually won't be that much harder. So let's find the equilibrium point. That means x minus 11 squared is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1. Remember, x stands for quantity and y stands for price. So if we go ahead and FOIL this, x squared minus 22x plus 121 is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1. All right, so if you're not sure about that, just FOIL x minus 11 times x minus 11, and you'll get that polynomial. X squareds cancel, which is nice. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to add over the 22x. So we'll get 23x over on this side when we do plus 22 plus 22x. And we'll do minus 1, so I'll get 120 here. All right. Oops, sorry, that should be 24x. My mistake. 22 plus 2 is 24. Now we'll do divide by 24, divide by 24. And we should get that the quantity produced, Q, is going to equal 5. So Q, which is the same thing as X, quantity produced is 5. Let's go ahead and find out how many, what the price is. Put it in here. 5 minus 11 is negative 6. Negative 6 squared is 36, so the price is equal to 36. So our equilibrium point is quantity produced 5, price 36. All right, in order to find, that's our equilibrium point. In order to find the consumer surplus, we simply do that integral we saw last time. The integral is 0 to Q, the demand curve, minus the quantity times the price. And remember that that QP is not in the integral. Okay? So that this time it's going to be the integral from 0 to 5 of our demand curve. And I'm going to go ahead and do the FOILed version of the curve for simplicity. That way we don't have to do the U substitution and all of that. So there's that, minus 5 times 36, which is equal to 180. So that was 5 times 36, and that's how I got 180. Okie dokie. Let's integrate. That's going to be x to the 3 over 3 minus 11x squared plus 121x. So take a look at that. Make sure you understand. The 3 comes down, cancels, and I get x squared. If you took the derivative of this, the 2 times 11 to get 22, and the 2 would become a 1, and 121 becomes 121x. So after enough practice, hopefully you just get the hang of doing that. That'll be evaluated from 0 to 5, and then it'll be minus 180. So we're ready to do it. Plug in 5 to get 125 thirds minus 5 times 5 times 11, which I'm going to use the calculator for. 5 times 5 times 11 is 275, plus 121 times 5, which is 605. Now don't forget, this time it works out, but sometimes these zeros actually leave lingering values. So that's minus a 0, plus a 0, minus a 0. And remember, we're subtracting, so here 2 negatives make a positive. Of course, it doesn't matter in this example. Don't always assume that these are zeros. They will be most of the time, but not always. And then finally, our minus 180 at the end. So let's add that all up and see what we get. 125 divided by 3 minus 275 plus 605 minus 180. And we arrive at our answer, round to the penny, of $191.67. So that's how much the consumers are, that's a measure of how happy they are. And so that's really good. I haven't left a lot of room for the other equation, but maybe we can fit it in. It's Q, now we're doing producer surplus, which is QP minus the integral of the supply curve. Like that. So QP minus the integral of the supply curve. Remember that Q and P were 5 and 36, so this will be 180 minus the integral from 0 to 5, because we're producing 5 things, of the supply curve, which was x squared plus 2x plus 1. dx. And again, remember that this is minus all of this, so don't forget to distribute your minus sign in a minute. So that's going to be, in fact, I'll do it now. Actually, no, I can't. 180 minus x cubed over 3 plus x squared plus x evaluated from 0 to 5. So I did my integral again. No plus c because we're doing a definite integral this time. So this is going to be 180 minus 5 cubed over 3 plus 5 squared plus 5 minus 0 minus 0 minus 0. And again, remember that all of that is in parentheses. If you're making a mistake, it's probably forgetting to put these in parentheses. So that's 180 minus 125 over 3 plus 25 plus 5. And this minus will make it minus, minus, and minus when I distribute the minus sign. So in the calculator, 180 minus 125 divided by 3 minus 25 minus 5. We arrive at an answer of $108.33, which is the correct answer. So the consumers are getting a little bit more benefit this time than the producers. However, they're both making a benefit, otherwise they wouldn't be in the market. As you can imagine, the amounts between producers and suppliers relates to the elasticity of the good and how difficult it is to not buy it or how many alternatives there are to the good. All right, hopefully that makes sense. That's the end of the first section, and I'll see you in the next video for the second section. If you have any questions, please email me. See you in the next one.